Before this video starts, I would like to apologize about the audio. I was having a lot of mic problems, so this video was recorded across multiple days. Also, I know the trailer for the final episode of The Owl House came out. I will be making a video about it, but right now, enjoy this video.
Emboldened by the dishonor Hecate had shown, Azura lifted her staff to the cotton candy skies and shouted, "I challenge you to a witch's duel!"
Ah yes, the Good Witch Azura books. I have some problems with them that I'll get to later in the video, but it's pretty clear that the characters in the book do represent some of the characters in the show. Azura is Luce, the old witch is Ida, and the dog is King. Hecate, on the other hand, has two characters that they could possibly represent, which we'll get to later in the video.
I can draw better than that. You know, they once called me the king of artists.
Wait, I thought you were the king of demons. Are you just making this up now?
King may not be entirely lying about his talent in drawing, at least. In the last episode, we see him draw quite a lot, and I may not know much about the quality of someone's art, since I'm not an artist, but I think his drawing is pretty good. Also, I'm pretty sure that's the toy sword from episode 2.
Something amazing is happening today! Gus, Willow, hey!
It's the annual Covention.
I'm sorry, this poster sounds like a BuzzFeed quiz. Hold up. Okay, it's not specifically a BuzzFeed quiz, but there are a bunch of them on different websites. According to this one, I'm in the Bard Coven. Neat, let me take another one. Holy crap!
You shall not chant doeth! No more harm! Azura calleth out.
So flowery, so awful.
Most formidable. Hecate could only screech. Screecheth, did she? For the screeching did worsen it.
If someone did this to me, it would be absolute torture. After reading this sign, I was very confused. What does Alchemist Anonymous even mean? One Google search later, and apparently it's a parody of a real group called Alcoholics Anonymous, further proving my theory of Ida and Willow being alcoholics. 5 episodes in and I just realized that King has a plushie from the game Hollow Knight in the intro. Wow.
But the big whammy is I disobeyed the law and refused to join a coven. If I'm seen, I could go to jail. Again.
You don't seem to be so worried about being seen when you're out doing business in a highly populated area.
There's Flower Coven, Artist Coven, Big Dog Coven, Small Cat Coven, Tiniest Cat Coven. Also the Grumpy Coven.
What was that?
Why do they even call these smaller covens? They're just clubs. There's not even another type of magic being used. It just seems to be a hobby. Although this Cinnabon Coven is really funny. It seems to be run by the eyeball guy from episode 1. So you're telling me the vampire girl and Tinelli get to appear in multiple episodes with voice lines, but this guy doesn't? Come on, man.
Ooh, what's that? That's the Construction Coven. One of the main 9. They use power glyphs to increase their strength.
I've been waiting so long to talk about this, but the Construction Coven is so stupid. Specifically the name. We got things like Plant Coven, Potion Coven, heck, even Bard Coven sounds cooler than Construction Coven. And from what we see later in the series, it shouldn't be named Construction Coven. It should have been named the Earth Coven or Rock Coven. I just hate the Construction Coven.
Ah, you've been taken in by the allure of the Illusionist Coven. We like to magic with a hint of showmanship.
I think I need to point out something real quick. I'm pretty sure Gus isn't in the Illusion Coven. He's in the Illusion
track.
Since he's still a student, I'm pretty sure he's not even supposed to be in the Coven yet. He's just taking classes.
When you join a coven, all your other magic is sealed away. From now on, that kid will only be able to make illusions. Since I never joined a coven, I can do every kind of magic.
I know giving Coven sigils to everyone is part of Velus's plan for the Day of Unity, but he could have also made these sigils to make sure that witches can't reach their full potential, so they wouldn't be as much of a threat. That's why he's been after Ida.
I get it, Ida. Coven's bad, individualism good. But I'm still figuring this world out, so I'm going to go in there and make up my own mind, okay?
I just saw.
I really like this from Luce. Shows she's smart enough not to base her opinion on someone else's opinion. Why is Tinella so big? What is the Snaggleback, the Bear Trap from episode 4, and the Owl from episode 1 doing here?
But we haven't even taken the quiz to determine our Coven type! Ooh, a punky potionist.
Okay, that was literally a BuzzFeed quiz.
Ooh, watch where you're... Oh, it's you. Willow's abomination thing.
Hey, Amity. So, funny story. Not an abomination.
No way Amity still believes Luce was an abomination. She's smarter than that.
Oh, hey, Luce, look at all these offerings.
Oops, that was an accident.
That cupcake did not deserve to be stepped on.
Just like the good witch Azura said when facing down her rival Hecate at the Bog of Immediate Regret, I challenge you to a witch's duel.
Does Luce even know if witches' duels are real here? She only did this because she saw it in the book and assumed it was real. I also find it funny how Azura does this in the Bog of Immediate Regret, since Luce immediately regrets this a few seconds later. I also didn't know reaction channels had their own coven.
1. If I win, you apologize to King for squashing his cupcake.
Good night, sweet child.
And 2. You admit that humans can be witches too.
Luce, these are the dumbest terms I've ever heard in my life.
Fine by me. But when I win, not only do you have to tell the whole Covention you're not a witch, you have to stop training. Forever.
And Amity's terms are a lot more permanent than yours.
Let's shake on it.
The everlasting oath is sealed.
I find this spell to be a bit confusing to understand. If either of them lose, are they forced to oblige? Like, if Amity wins, is Luce just incapable of training? Or if Luce wins, is Amity forced to apologize?
King, I could win this, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
And King just made Luce agree to something that could very much ruin Luce's chances of becoming a witch, and he just doesn't care. Some friend you are, King, and to think I complimented this friendship last episode.
Sister? It's been so long since I've seen you last.
When was the last time Lilith saw Ida? Also, there's the code for this episode. This one says now.
Oh, Lily. I just had to see the leader of the Emperor's Coven in action.
But Lilith isn't the leader of the Emperor's Coven. Wouldn't it be the Emperor?
Unless... I don't believe it. You're here to join the Emperor's Coven.
In your dreams.
Okay, I think now is a good time to talk about it. Just like Hecate from the Good Witch Dora books, Lilith has two faces. On one hand, she is one of the leading forces for the Emperor's Coven, but on the other hand, she truly does care about her sister. This is especially shown near the end of the episode.
It seems your student has met my strongest protege. And look at those ears. Is she human? Where did you even find one of these?
Two things. One, I'm pretty sure this is the only time they mention Amity being Lilith's protege. It seems like they just forgot about that. And two, I like how Lilith refers to Luce as one of these, making it sound like she's treating Luce as some sort of monster or a thing.
Oh, that's right. I haven't taught you many spells, huh?
You just realized this now, Ida? You really are a bad teacher.
Abomination. Rise.
I'm pretty sure Amity's abomination is smaller here than it was in episode 3 because she made that first abomination with some ingredients. This is the first time she conjured one with just a spell circle. I'm sorry, this just looks wrong.
Calm down. You see those mounds? Get Amity to land on one of those and she'll set off my magic traps.
When did Ida set this up?
Abomination. Rise. Show me what you got, human.
I like how we can see that Amity is shocked that she made an abomination this big. It foreshadows how, like Ida, Lilith also cheated.
I saw you that time. You didn't use your hands. What are you getting at?
Not dying!
How do these witch duels work? Is it the first one to get tired or knocked out? I would really like to know the conditions.
Perfect Prissy, Lilith cheated. Hot dang, I love conventions.
I only did that because I knew you would cheat.
Still cheated. Welcome down to my level.
So does this mean that the match is a draw? How does the oath work now?
Rhyme one more thing. I dare you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm done. Because my rhymes are depleted.
Oh, that's it!
So did Ida only do the taunting to get Lilith to fight her?
You think it's so easy to be a witch. I have been working my whole life to get to the top. You lost. You cheated. Say it. Say you're not a witch.
Alright, I think now's a good time to also talk about Amity. Just like Lilith, Hecate could also represent Amity with the whole two-faced thing. On one hand, Amity may seem like a bully, but on the other hand, it just seems like she's afraid of being embarrassed and wants to try to live up to everyone's expectations. And the fact that both Lilith and Amity have a witch's duel with Ida and Luce really sells their similarities. Okay, do I need to explain how good this fight is? Clearly some of the highest quality of animation this season has. I also love a few details in this fight scene. Ida smiling the whole time, while Lilith has this serious face, really shows their two different personalities and how Ida really enjoys this fight. Lilith throwing her staff, creating one impact, and then her coming in for another impact, which starts to crack Ida's shield, is also really cool. This fight is just cool.
I just had to see my sister for possibly the last time.
Ida,
It's been fun, but let's call it a draw.
Was Lilith about to tell Ida she cursed her in this scene? Also, was Ida genuine about this whole scene, or was she just saying this to get away?
Humans have no magical ability, but I doubt that'll stop you.
Can't tell if that was an insult or a compliment, but Amity redemption arc?
Oh, you think that's all the mystery I got? Wait till you hear about my parents.
What? You've got parents?
Did Luce think Ida was an orphan? Alright, the code from the episode titles is now AWITC, and the code hidden in the episodes is now Two Witches Torn Apart, now. I think this is the best episode so far. It starts Amity's redemption arc and introduces Lilith and her dynamic with Ida. However, I still don't like a few things. King's whole offering side plot was really unnecessary, and I didn't like how the Good Witch Azura book set up what was going to happen in this episode. But the positives completely outweigh the negatives I have for this episode. I'm giving this episode a 7.5 out of 10, so I'll see you guys in the next Overanalyzing vid.